By this point, enough structure has been established that a reasonable reader may ask a simple question. What comes next? That question deserves a clear answer, not because the system lacks direction, but because clarity about future boundaries prevents confusion before it appears. This document exists to do exactly that. This post does not introduce new rules. It does not expand authority. It does not reinterpret anything already written. The world does not suffer from a lack of opinion, commentary, or conviction. It suffers from an excess of all three, layered onto systems already too complex to tolerate distortion. Persuasion is framed as analysis, emotion replaces structure, and speed is rewarded more than coherence. What is missing is not certainty. It is governed thinking that remains stable as complexity increases. That is the problem signal purity exists to address. Downstream of the governance core, this system will produce work in a small number of clearly bounded domains. You should expect structural analysis, work that focuses on systems rather than personalities, incentives rather than narratives, and failure modes rather than predictions. When analysis appears, it will be neutral by design, not because neutrality is virtuous, but because preference corrodes structure. You should also expect translation and orientation, material that exists to make complex systems legible without simplifying their rules. Translation here is not advocacy. It does not argue for conclusions. It explains how things work and where constraints lie. At times you may see application. These are not prescriptions, they are demonstrations of consequences and boundaries. You should expect measured evolution. When new documents or formats appear, they will be additive, explicit, and versioned. Nothing will shift silently. Nothing will be reframed retroactively. Just as important is what you should not expect. This system will not attempt to persuade you. It will not recruit you. It will not compete for attention through emotion, urgency, or outrage. No downstream output will ever override, soften, or reinterpret the governing documents already established. When conflicts arise, governance prevails, always. Over time, you should expect consistency more than frequency, restraint more than reaction, and silence when clarity would otherwise be compromised. This document is subordinate to the governance core already published. If conflict ever arises, this post yields without exception. That hierarchy is intentional. Signal purity does not promise answers, certainty, or guidance. It offers something more difficult to maintain: structural coherence in environments where coherence is eroding. That is the work. Everything else is downstream.